You like bourbon old fashioned, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to make you.
I've been on the gin train too much lately.
The gin train.
And I'm like, just not feeling it anymore.
I don't know if you can stay on the gin train for a long time.
It's more the calories, right? Yeah, it's like, I'll go nice and soft, gin and soda, try and undo some of the damage, try and be all right,
The calories aren't it.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't worry about it.
Got to make them count, you know what I'm saying?
Do you?
Yeah, don't count them, make them count.
I don't know what you're talking. Never been there. Don't know who he
Just
is.
always shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought, bourbon old fashioned, I think I might have actually had it at yours once. Back in like
probably 10 times.
10 years ago.
We're gonna chuck some like buck spice ginger bitters in it.
It was just interesting.
Because why not?
Did you brew this?
Oh, how good it was broken.
In the back somewhere?
This is how you know it's like live TV. It's like nothing's working right now.
Yeah. Right, so what is it? Exactly.
It's just like a gingery, like little mix. So like think like ginger beer, concentrated, like heavy, and then put into like a bitters form. So like mixed with alcohol, probably not distilled. No, they probably just like, I don't know. I don't make bitters for a living, so
yeah.
I'm a good bartender, but I don't make bitters.
Do you have like a secret one that you like use or something that you use all the time in every drink?
Angostura, baby.
DOG.
DOG.
Sponsored content.
Do you like the suspense I'm creating?
Love it. Theatrical.
Yeah. Yesterday I didn't make Daxie a drink, so I'm making him one today. So I was like, that's like slack. Like, not good, eh? Anyway, this is kind of like, oh, that's it. That's the one.
Smells good. Just stirred, huh?
Stirred, bro. I don't need to do anything else. It's an old fashioned. Keep it simple.
Smell from here. It smells amazing. Oh, it's tickling my nose.
Stop it. Mother's milk.
Get this out of the way.
Buy water.
See ya.
Daxie.
Give me God's water now.
One for you.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Delicious. I can already.
Oh, it's actually really good.
Ooh.
That's actually very good.
Yum. Damn, that spice is like perfect. What a finish.
What can I say? I'm actually the best.
Two ingredients, too easy.
That's it. 3 actually. Yeah.
3? Okay.
I put a bit of sugar in there too.
Oh, naughty boy.
You got to put a little bit of sugar. I know the calories. I know you're worried about it.
What's your take on sugar and agave?
Oh, agave.
I hear it's like all the rage right now. It's like everyone's putting agave in everything.
I mean, I've been putting agave in things since Frank and Blanco.
Yeah.
But I think like...
It's got agave on the logo.
Agave is good, but it does pull a lot of honey flavor into drinks. So you got to be wary of the balance because it can hurt. It can hurt a drink. Because then if you did like, say you wanted to do like a sugar-free version of a cocktail and you used agave and everything will just start tasting like honey.
Right. Yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. Love honey.
Honey's good.
But you're talking about even just the citrusy stuff as well.
Just the citrusy stuff as well. Like you always get a little bit of like that caramel honey flavor from the agave. And I don't know if that's like a vibe.
Yeah.
You gotta be cautious with it and you gotta use it. Like it is golden. It should be used in the right drinks. Great with tequila, obviously. I'm a sucker for tequila.
Love.
I'm a bad man for tequila.
Love tequila.
Johnny Bhalla, welcome to the show.
Excited to be here.
How good. So you're a branding expert and you've worked with some of the best brands in the world, I would say. Some of the most up and coming. What, in your opinion, like differentiates the good brands to the ones that aren't good?
That's an easy one. It's the ones that actually think they're a brand versus being a business. So many people think that they're creating a brand, but they're actually creating a business. Creating a brand's a completely different ballgame. And so how they actually think about creating the brand is exactly the way they should, which is like right from the top, research, doing your discovery, doing your audience intelligence, understanding your concepts, then working on like the visual identity, verbal identity, all of those things. So I think we get lost too much in trying to create a business that's more like vibe based, like get a mood board together and this looks really cool and then put it together. And whereas the brands that are really successful do the deep learning, deep understanding of their audience, the market, the category, all those entry points, everything. I think that's the biggest difference is them treating themselves as a brand.
So the brand comes first, then the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like my take on it, and obviously you know this as well, we've known each other for quite a lot of time. Like I've always built what I think the brand should be first before I even build a business plan. I'm like, does that resonate? Does that sit with me? Like even Frank and Blanco, like to me, Frank's my alter ego whenever I'm drinking tequila.
Yeah.
I always love drinking Blanco tequila. Yeah. So then I was like, Frank and Blanco, great name. And when I first signed the lease on that shop, I didn't even know what it was going to be. I just knew it was going to be a restaurant and bar. And then I just started like thinking that way. That's probably like the inception of us meeting each other too. And like, growing into that. That's probably why we vibe so much. I absolutely get that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And like, so you say like building that brand, what actually, so yeah, okay, that's what differentiates good from bad. But then like delve into that a bit more for me.
Sure. So there's never inherently a bad brand. It always starts with and ends and starts with your product, right? Or starts and ends with your product. So if your product sucks, you can do all the marketing in the world, nothing's going to save it, right? So your product has to be the core function of your whole business in terms of like what experience it wants to deliver from that day, from inception right into the being in hands, right? So the brands that really get it, they've done that work right at the front. They don't start from the concept. They really go deep into understanding what does the category need, what's their idea, and how can that actually translate into solving an issue or solving a problem, and then actually diving into the audience understanding, doing the consumer journeys, like really understanding all the layers that make their business something that has legs, and then develop the how. So often everyone skips the why, and they get straight to the what and the how. And they're like, I've got an idea, I need to get it out there. This is a business model. Let's get it going. And I say that heaps with like hospitality businesses all the time.
Of course.
Or especially with like concepts. They're like, I've got this pizza that's never been done before. It's using Indian toppings and no one makes an Indian pizza. And I think that's going to be the next big thing.
Pizza Hut does it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure
yeah. Some mean butter chicken pizza. Let me tell you. You're going up against that,
Yeah.
And so they dive straight into it, which is great because the execution mindset of an entrepreneur is that you can't mess with that, and so a lot of the problems that brands have today is that they focus on the execution, they get straight into it, and they skip over the strategy, the why, and the reasons for existence. Ultimately, no one gives a fuck if you exist or not. That's just the harsh truth. I just got back from Japan.
That's a fact.
Just got back from Japan.
Yeah.
You go to Japan, you spend a minute there, you will feel exceptionally insignificant in any store, like with shrouded by like hundreds and thousands of different products, and you think that you've got a chance to make someone care about your brand if you're just launching it. Good luck. You know what I mean?
No one cares.
The more deep you can go on your business and your brand, versus going like sparingly and doing a lot, that's where the money is. How deep can you really go with understanding what you're here to do, who your audience is, where your market is, where you want to go, what's the change you actually seek to make. If you're not doing that work, don't go through the pains.
Nah.
Painful.
Obviously like in hospitality, we're always brought in kind of like, recently it's been great. We're there at the start with the brand and then building out what the operation's supposed to look like. But when we walk into a business and they're like, hey, Brendo, can you just come and operate this for us? And the first question I ask is like, What's your brand? You know, what are you trying to achieve? What's the experience that you want to give to your customers? What's the SOPs? And I'm telling you, 80% of the time people are like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the venue.
Yeah.
Here's 50 tables. Here's the glassware we chose.
Yeah.
Here's the cutlery. This is the food we're going to do. And these are the drinks. Okay. But yeah, when someone comes in, how do they feel?
Yeah.
What's the actual experience?
That's right.
And I think like without thinking that way, and I love that you think this way because we're both the same and we love experiences.
Yeah.
But like in Japan, like obviously it's like tell me more about that. I was like obviously branding overload.
Everything overload. It's so overwhelming that it's kind of like you've obviously been in New York, like we've spent some time there, and it's like the New York of Asia, basically. It's astonishing. The energy in the air, like we thought we had enough time there and it was just gone like that. And you step foot into any convenience store and you're just inundated and overwhelmed. Over here, Australia has like the luxury of 2 supermarket chains that are dominating 90% of the market share. Aldi's like quickly catching up, which is great. But then you go into any aisle and you'll see maybe 3 or 4 variations of a particular product, like hot sauce or like flour. Even flour is probably like just 2. You got the own brand and you got one private label that dominates everything. So when you go through the aisles, you're not seeing the diversity of products. But when you go to somewhere like Asia or even in the US, walk into a store and you'll feel so like not significant in terms of your brand. But it's such an important lesson because I always tell any client that I work with, any brand that I'm ever going to start working with from conception, if they're like thinking about launching something or putting something into the world, we've got to go to the shops. And my favorite shop to go to is actually Harris Farm Market because they are like the curators of everything good. Yeah. Everything up and coming. All their brands are like super great visual identity. They've got great stories with them. They've got such deep experiences inbuilt within the actual
aesthetically pleasing too.
Everything.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to the main stores, you're not really getting the whole piece of the pie. So, so I think Japan was amazing. But when you're speaking about experiences, like the way they actually come up with experiences, I went to the Harry Potter exhibition, the making of.
No.
Holy bejesus. I was like such a nerd. I wasn't wearing a robe, okay?
You were wearing.
I wanted to.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, I really wanted to wave my wand around there.
Yeah.
But like there's so much inspiration drawn from that for me personally, because I was like the level of detail into creating a world around not only Harry Potter in itself, but there's like hundreds of micro worlds within the actual room or like the scene or whatever it is, you know, and
it's like an orgasm.
It's incredible. I was completely jizzing my pants.
Yeah.
But that's a level like story and writers. And that's why I love writing or reading quite a bit because they build these worlds and, deep universes around us.
Well, there's thinking behind that. Yeah. Like that doesn't just happen. Like that's like, here's our brand. Here's what we want to do. Here's the books.
Yeah.
Now, how do we make that experience the best for the guest? You know, and what can we do? Like, and I've never been to Japan, but like, were they running from like, you know, 0 to 5, 5 to 10? Like, did they map out that whole process depending on what age you are? Because obviously,
no. So this is the beauty about when you're running the most incredible experiences.
Yeah,
you don't want to typically age gate it unless, of course, there's alcohol and things like that. But you want to encourage autonomy. You want people to go in and choose their own adventure, see things and be triggered by them because each person's unique and their perception of the world is going to be unique as well. So why restrict that? Let their minds go fully into their imagination. You just build the space and have triggers and let them go on their own journey. So there was one way out, right? That's it. Yeah. Like IKEA.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get the hacks. So you go through this sneaky alleyways or whatever. But, you're going on an unguided tour essentially. And for us, it was in Japanese and I don't understand any Japanese. I didn't have like those meta glasses to quickly translate instantly.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I know. I was actually thinking that
would have been a good time to have them. Yeah.
But when you walk into the room, they had the foundations of an exceptional experience all built in, and it started from the moment you got there. So it was all about anticipation. Anticipation is the greatest gift. So you're creating excitement but you want to get in there and they're not letting you get in there. They're like, let's do this scene here and let's play a cut from a movie, and it's going to be an introduction from the characters of Harry Potter. Then you're going to go to this other room and like all the posters ever made of Harry Potter all around the world, all around the walls, as artworks and in all different languages. And you're like, wow. So there was about 6 rooms before we actually got into the first room. And that's the beauty of like creating anticipation upon entry. It's such a slept on thing, I think. Yeah. With any experience.
And the word, you just said a word before, gating.
Yeah.
Never heard of that before. That's pretty cool though, because it makes sense. Like, even when you are creating brands, like it shouldn't be stipulated in, I work in booze, so, you know, don't drink unless you're 18. Yeah. 21 in the US.
Yeah.
But like, that age gating, like that's really important. We talk about it a bit in hospitality now, like making sure that your venue is family friendly, it can be drink friendly, and it can be kind of like that one-stop shop for everyone to come and enjoy. And I guess like it's coming into all branding as well. Like I was in Italy this year, and we went to the La Marzocco factory, like the coffee factory. Used coffee machines forever, but like I've never like known where it came from, what it was made. It was just out of Florence.
Yeah.
And like they had the same thing. Like everything was like through a curtain.
Yeah.
And then it was like an immersive, everything was quite dark, and like you'd have to look through these little things. You could see like a farmer picking beans, and then you put earphones in, you can hear like the sound of like a farm.
Yeah.
And then the sound of like a welder, and like they kind of like took you through the whole journey. And I thought that was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was like a kid in a candy store at that place.
How good is it?
Yeah.
Right. And you come out, I think the key is you walk out more energized than you walked in. Right. And I think that's the bee's knees of an exceptional experience is, can you walk out of that thing feeling alive, or are you just tired and you want to go home? I think that's just
if you want to go, you've missed something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool because, like I didn't really care about La Marzocco coffee machines. I like them.
Yeah.
Knew nothing about the brand, their history. Like then when you go there, I found out like they originally started building bars. Then they moved to coffee machines. And then I'm like, straight away, like, I'm like, oh, they built bars. That's so cool. I'm a bartender. Wow. Like, and then they take you through this like bar that was built in the 50s or whatever, that they transported from another part of Italy and rebuilt. And I think like that whole experience modeling is pretty amazing, because a lot of people generally have like minimal to no idea why a brand exists, but they know how they feel about it and what it means. And I guess that's like why some brands are good and some are not good. And it probably comes down to that initial like gameplay, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like all that background creation that happened that you had no idea about, they'd already thought about it. And that was just distilled into all of their machinery, everything they do, their processes, their people, their culture, their team, their packaging, all of that essence of their story, their origins, all those things that they already worked on, already had. When it hit you, the product hit you, you know, you feel the quality. You feel it already before it's actually done. So when you're asking like, what's the difference between a good brand or a great brand or a bad brand? It's inherently the emotional connection that's you feel in like instantly. When you see something like an Instagram grid from a new brand, even through ads, you know, or you walk into a store, are they hooking you straight away? And are they speaking to your identity of who you are or who you want to be? And that identity work, that understanding, that's all done already. The great brands know their people before you even know yourself. Like it's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just blew my mind a bit. I think like, I was just like, whoa, like your head is an algorithm. Yeah. Like that's how you were just speaking. I'm like, is this guy work for Meta, or is this like dee-doo? Yeah, that's sick. I mean, like when you are building a brand, for example, and you get someone in a room, and I've been through this process with you, and like a very small bit that we've done together with my personal brand, like these questions you ask that just feel like super left of field, and I think like that's kind of like what put you apart to everybody else, and allows you to think outside the box. And I think you're like amazing at it.
Thanks.
No worries, man. I think it's the whiskey.
Yeah, gas,
talking, I should say. But yeah, man, I think like it's pretty cool, and I agree. I'm like, when I see a brand pop up on my Instagram, for example, I'm like, oh man, this brand is just talking to me.
Yeah.
But obviously that's come into like what the demographic is, age, height maybe, what sports do you play, what food do you like, what drink do you like? Like, tell me a bit about that and how you mold that, like to be, like how do you drive someone into that kind of category? And is it a good idea to put them in a smaller category or should you keep them broad?
Yeah, really good question. So there's a couple layers and ways to answer that. Firstly, a little bit controversial. When people say you need to find a target audience, I think it's one of the most bogus information, like things that ever exist. Because often when you're growing or scaling businesses, your target audience often isn't the audience that you actually really go after. Then it ends up being maybe a different demographic or maybe a different ethnicity or whatever it is. At the demographic level, if you're being strict about who you're targeting, of course, for like meta and stuff, like ads and stuff, you have to be general. But that's why it's instead of a target, you have an ideal audience persona, which is more like, this would be great if you're a high income earner, they live in the eastern suburbs, blah, blah, blah. These are the kinds of people I want to go after, but I'm okay to be open to a kid who's, 20 and he loves this brand just as much as a 42-year-old would, if you're segmenting and you're effectively leaving money on the table, not targeting the people that might actually be interested in your brand. So what happens in the old school way of thinking about targeting and audiences, you have demographics because their demographics are derived from statistical data that was available. And so people needed to put people in categories so they could understand how to effectively market to them. But now with social media, with information and like the age of information's been so sporadic, your interests might be aligned with a 16-year-old that in basketball, for instance, and you might have the same passion. So if I didn't target you, but I targeted a 16-year-old, but you've got the money and he doesn't, I'm losing money. So it doesn't matter too much about the demographics, which is the second part of answering your question, which is psychographics are really important. So psychographics are your behavioral cues, your mindsets, your audience's identity, what their shared values are, their shared belief systems, what their visions are for the future, what's their aspirations, and how distant are they from that aspiration? So who are they now? Who do they want to become? And how can your product be the bridge that gets them there? So that's another layer of audience targeting that if I was to tell anyone listening to this to walk away with something is do your research on psychographics, not demographics. Leave the demographics in the 1970s. Like just get onto understanding their mindsets and their motivators because that'll make you way more money than
anything else.
Yeah.
So what is a psychographic?
So
I might sound stupid here, but I've never heard of that, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously in the 70s, like cowboys, like advertising, marketing, big billboards, and it was like super broad and very easy, and it was a bloke smoking a cigarette saying this is good for you and whatever else. And you're saying now it's the first layer is that broad spectrum, but then you have to break that down into like, if I am targeting them from 16 to 40, for example, where's the actual line where the purchase begins or the revenue generating decision becomes?
So it's all of those things. So a psychographic is essentially the mindset of the customer at that particular time and period. So let's give you an example. So a wellness customer who's into fitness, they could be any age really. They could have an interest from into fitness very early. They could be from professional, maybe their parents are professional athletes.
Yeah.
And so they're interested in wellness and athleticism from 4 years old or whatever, right? But the psychographics of your ideal person look at the mindset of the person, which means are they driven? Are they hungry? Are they competitive? Do they value competitive sports? Do they value teamwork? Do they value, sharing? Are they empathetical to people? Do they want to service their own needs ahead of others or vice versa? Like all these different, psychological parameters that you can assume of your ideal audience. So if you look at a business that you're building right now, you want to say, what is the mindset of that customer that I need to speak to? right? So Nike does this. I know everyone uses Nike, everywhere.
Use it. Let's go.
It's the best.
Let's go. Roll it up.
It's the best for a reason, because when you see a Nike creative, like their most recent ones, they're out of home. I saw it in Puma recently, and I just instantly connected, because it says it's not just do it. It's like you just have to start, or something similar to that. It was like, just start, or, get into it, or like the preparation starts before you do it, or something interesting in 3 words that I was like driving, and I'm like, damn, they hit, I'm like, of course it's a Nike like commercial. And that's tapping into my psychographic need to be better every single day, achieve more, be ambitious. A lot of people, that kind of like relates with entrepreneurs and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other people may not be non-entrepreneurs or people that are risk taking. They love their comfy job, their 9 to 5. They won't connect with that on that level, because it's not the mindset that they share. Yeah. So if Nike, me trying to spruik that onto someone who's 9 to 5, they're just gonna be like, get off my back,
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Right?
Did you start that day? Or?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you start?
I just bought some shoes.
Running shoes.
Advertising
worked?
Yeah. Tick.
Well, literally tick. No pun intended. Yeah, that's awesome. What? You just blew my mind on that. I'm really like, because I definitely don't think of branding that deep.
There's a tool called a consumer journey map, right? So it's literally living in the mind of your ideal customer and thinking about what they do from 6 a.m. to sleep. And you obsess with what they might be doing or thinking at the time. Is my ideal person the one's going to get up at 6 a.m. and hit snooze once or 3 times? Is it once? Then they're like ultra go-getter. I'm going to sell them a fitness thing, and they're already into that mindset. They're ready to go. If they snooze 3 times, then what do they do after that? Do they still go to gym, or do they make excuses?
Or do you sell them coffee, because maybe the coffee machine is what gets them going?
Yeah.
Or,
do they roll into
so it can go like it's forever,
right? And typically you want 3 to 4 segments of ideal personas or ideal customer bases that share different demographics. So there's a bit of overlap, typically from a mindset and values point of view.
Yeah.
But there might be like the person working who's like 9 to 5, but still ambitious and still is dreaming of that 5 to 9, the owning the restaurant and like doing the thing. And she's like, creating a business on the side.
Yeah.
So she shares that value of someone that's like already created businesses, made 100 mil. It's the same mindset. They want to succeed and they want to push themselves. So that's where psychographics becomes really important. And if you can do it, get used to understanding them from when they wake up to when they sleep, and see what, almost like fantasize about like what are they thinking at that time? Are they rolling out of bed and go straight to work and they look scruffy? Maybe they need instant coffee. They don't have time to value the tradition of making their own coffee in the morning. They don't value it.
Like grinding it, tamping it.
They don't care.
That's not in them.
They don't care.
So like, I get, okay.
And do you see that demographic says nothing about that? Their income level doesn't say anything about it.
No.
Age doesn't say anything. Where they live doesn't say anything.
No. So you're almost creating avatars almost for the brand, and then really deeply thinking about what it is. So that's where your strategy begins, right? That's like your think tank on where you go. Like we do, like in Hospo, we do something similar. Like I'd have a terrible psychographic because I'm risky. I do all the wrong things. I've won and lost. I've done it all.
That's why athletic greens will probably be good for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get it all the time. AG1. There you go. AG1. I'm like, God, I'm not buying it. Like, it's not happening. But like, when we look at like even just a restaurant, like we probably do something similar, maybe not as in, because obviously we're not working from 6 a.m. to midnight, but we'll look at like a customer journey, like when does their when does their spending making decision happen? How can we facilitate that in the restaurant from a revenue making decision as well? And then we build like protocols around what that is. Is that similar to like what you're talking about? Like it's like you're like basically building what we would call an SOP, service order protocol, but for the brand. And this happens before you even make up a logo or like anything else. And then the logo and everything should come built off those bits and pieces.
Pretty much. And like, I think it's a great start. And I would say and encourage anyone that does that would just like go even further. So what you're saying is like almost at the decision-making point, which is essentially if you look at a funnel, it's like about third or fourth or fifth step, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we want to know like at awareness stage, how do they know that you exist and why should they think about you? So what's the triggers that will think about going to Brendo's restaurant as soon as they wake up? Is it when hunger hits? Is it like, I need a mean Mexican meal and like, oh my God, Frank and Michael is amazing. Like, what are the triggers that you can infiltrate in that person's mind from morning? And then they'll get to the decision of making the purchase, you know? So I think with hospitality in particular, everyone carries that same mindset of they build it and then they'll come. It's like that really old school mentality.
I wish.
And you do, right? Because you build a mad concept, you do a sick visual identity, it looks incredible, and you're like, all right, time to get some PR, and it's just like dust. And, you know, I've seen so many businesses, especially in Sydney, experience that. It's because they're thought too far down the track of the sales funnel or the marketing funnel, right, instead of right at the top, which is like, why would they give us two shits about me? And what would prompt them to think about me anywhere? You know, or anywhere that they should, you know, which is where you have your like top of funnel ad creatives. That's where the billboards come in, and or your like Facebook ads and all those different channels. So I would say expand it. I would say like if you can even stretch it out into what is even happening before that decision making point. What happens before they walk in? Like what happens before they even get to the Uber? Like, are they getting ready with friends? Like, what are they doing at that time to decide? Because the decision starts way in advance as well.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's amazing. I think like hospitality is an interesting one because I think we definitely discount the brand because like we're like, oh, food and drink's great. Service is good. We're good here. We can put bums on seats, right? And that is a huge element of what it is, right? To someone, is their experience good? And obviously we time in restaurants too to make sure that, you know, if it is an hour and a half sitting, it feels timed, it feels ready. And our thought process on it is you set your alarm to get up in the morning, you go to work at a certain time, you finish your day at a certain time, you hit your restaurant at a certain time to go for dinner, say 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And everyone is inherently, whether they like it or not, hello.
Oops. Tends to happen with our cookies. Yeah.
Everyone inherently, whether they like it or not, likes timing, right, in a venue.
Yeah.
And I think from a hospitality perspective, this is like really helpful as well. And I'd love to help as many hospitality venues as we can. This is not a hospitality podcast, but I think like what you just said then, like even thinking about your consumer or your customer, whatever you want to call them, your barfly, like thinking about them daily, about how they operate. You know, we used to do it, you know, when we wanted to book Friday nights or Taco Tuesdays, for example, we'd start promoting to our customer base on a Sunday night because we knew Sunday night they're sitting at home, they're going to go to work on Monday. By Tuesday, they're like, man, I'm done. I just want to go see Brendo for a taco and tequila,
cheap
right?
And cheerful, tasty.
That's it. And I knew if I hit him on Sunday, I'd have a busy Tuesday. And we tested it numerous times.
That's so good.
We did it on a Monday. We did it on a Saturday night. We did it. It just never worked. Sunday night, for some reason, 6 p.m., you run it, you're booked out on Tuesdays.
Yeah. And that's the beauty about what I always love with how you did anything and everything and still do is the testing and learning, right? And I think that's the other part of hospital or just generally in businesses. Like, everyone's trying to go for that one trick, like channel that's going to get them to $1 million or 10 million, whatever it is, 100 mil. But the testing and learning is such a critical skill because even when you do all of this, like consumer journey mapping, psychographics, demographics, you're like, this is my customer, you know? Even after that, you still need to test it and deploy it. And it might be those little tweaks that maybe they don't think about you in the morning, and that's okay. Maybe they just think about you at 10:37 when their alarm goes off for a meeting or some shit. Like, you just don't know.
You don't know.
You got to keep testing, and that's a special part. Sure.
And for everyone out there, it's not easy doing business. If it was,
I said, don't start if you don't do the work.
I'm manifesting $10 million this year. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we'll give it a red hot go.
How sick would that be though?
Oh,
like you have it on footage as well, so it's like, you know, 1 year later. So.
Yeah, if it happens, if it happens, we're all going to Mykonos. So I'm just letting everyone know we're not going to be here. We're going to shoot the potty from. We're going to go to Mykonos, the long pour in Mykonos. It'll be awesome. Yeah. What do you think is a brand we should watch right now?
Oh,
and it can just be your favorite brand.
Right. Okay. That is a tough one because there's a lot of really good brands doing really cool stuff, but I want to focus on some of the more of the Australian ones for sure. Up Finance, bit of left of field, but in the banking sector or even just generally, if you've ever seen any of their out of home, is so out left of field and so different to what you're used to seeing. But it connects with you so like quickly because it again taps into the nature of like your ambition, but in a fun and cool way. So maybe after this, I'll share some examples.
Yeah.
But, Up Finance comes to mind. That's an Aussie brand, of course. What else? There's another one in the US called Topicals. So it's a skincare line.
Yeah.
And if you look at their creative direction and how they articulate all of their audiences from a cultural standpoint, it's amazing. So it's almost as if they have like their ears on the ground, or they have someone that's dedicated to specifically knowing and understanding the culture that the brand represents, and is then able to then articulate that into creative direction, ideas, social posts. That extenuates into music campaigns and all these different brand elements. And it's so sick because you're like, this brand's actually engaging me to another level that most brands aren't, and I actually want to look at their Instagram feed and see what they're doing. It's like, I could pull it up and be like, this is ASAP Rocky on here. What the hell? Like it's sick randomly.
I mean, great name.
Topicals.
Obviously it's a health brand.
Yeah. It's a skincare brand.
Skincare brand?
Yeah.
Wow. And they're, so when you say ear to the ground, you're basically saying like they can almost read the mind of the consumer.
They know it before the people know it. That's the special part of when you understand your audience to a level where you can speak their same language, you can understand their values, you can see what makes them move or tick. And then unify that with what's happening in the world right now with like culture and trends and like just macroeconomic conditions.
Yeah.
Put them together and you're creating cultural moments as a brand. You'll be able to not only understand your audience, but understand culture, put them together, and you can shape culture. It's sick.
I mean, that's like that next level. Like,
it's so cool.
How many brands in history do you think have like nailed that?
More recently than before. And
because of data?
I think it's because of data. I think it's because they have dedicated people that are on TikTok looking at the trends, looking at what's like people are talking about, managing or overseeing a lot of these influencer accounts that haven't taken off yet. Like they're on it,
Yeah.
And it's all on the key topics that might interest their audience as well. So if you don't know what topics are going to interest your audience, you don't know your audience, and you're like, it just doesn't make sense. You can't move at the speed that other brands will move, and speed becomes really important in this game. Another one's Rare Beauty. I think they're great.
Yeah,
I think
I've seen their stuff.
Yeah, Rare Beauty's been doing well. Ordinary, another skincare brand, which is like huge, massive brand, but they are so challenger in how they approach things. And there was this one thing they did, which was like the periodic fable. It's a recent campaign.
Yeah.
And imagine a giant billboard. It's a periodic table that you've seen in chemistry before I dropped out anyway. And each like element is some bullshit that is a marketing term that is used around the world, like greenwashing or like authentic. And they've got a word for every single one of them. And they're paying attention to the fact that you don't need to overcomplicate or listen to all this marketing jargon from other people. Skincare needs to just be simple and it needs to be affordable. And this is why. And it's like formulations, etc. It's like a black and white, essentially.
It's actually brilliant.
Super cool,
Yeah.
and attention seeking. Like it gets your attention. You're like, what the hell's that? I love that. That's sick.
Do you use their product?
I do, yeah. So here and there. Although, no, sorry, I have to say, ever since working with Sultanic, I'm on like my Korean beauty wave. Like, as a man, I'm like, no, hit me up with that Milky Toner, son. Like,
oh damn,
yeah, that's it. Literally. My wife's teaching me all the time. I'm
and
like,
bam,
yeah,
wrinkles
like,
are gone.
Yes. Let that be known.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool. And you're like, why can't guys use this stuff? You know, it's not marketed to us.
No.
And it's all our better halves are always going to let us into their world. And they're like, oh, I've got this new, moisturizing cream from Korean Beauty. And like, this is a newer one. I'm like, I don't want to do the 6-step thing,
No.
I just want to have a shower and leave. Maybe a moisturizer at best.
Yeah.
Don't at me with like toner, cleanser, like, all this shit. But,
You do it every night, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta live forever,
So Soul Tonic, like obviously you've been playing, I've been watching your journey. You've been playing a lot in that food service industry for a little bit now. Tell me about it. What's Soul Tonic?
Soul Tonic. So we're trying to essentially pioneer new...
Hang on, we're going to change that. We're not trying to. We're doing.
We're doing.
We
are doing.
Yes.
I'm too humble for my good, I think.
Yeah, we're not doing that here. This is there's no humility in this podcast. That's it. I've already made that clear. Isn't that right, Dax? Yeah.
All right. We are pioneering a new form of Korean hydration wellness tonics.
Yes.
And we're not doing it in a way that's inspired by or, trying to do what they're doing in Korea and then replicate it for the West or whatever. We are using the traditional processes and bringing that ancient wisdom that Korean wisdom has given us and granted us for centuries, and bringing it into a way that enhances modern life. And so when I first started with the company, it was very geared towards the party time. It was like, what it is, Soul Tonic, the first product was you drink before drinking and you don't get a hangover the next day.
Yeah.
And the first thing that everyone always says to me is like, how much can I drink now that I've had it?
That would have been my first question.
Can I get pissed now that
so if I have 15 tequilas in 2 hours, do I wake up no hangover? Or?
And I might even get cancelled for this. But anyway, someone DM'd us saying, I had 17 drinks last night.
Yeah.
Didn't work. XOXO. And my creative...
They gave you some kisses and hugs.
Yeah. I was like, at least they liked us. So And our creative director's was about to message. I don't know if he did or not. I didn't check the message, but he was like, I'm thinking about messaging back. Sorry, hun, you should have had 16. Then it's the only time it's going to work.
That's actually brilliant.
But it when you're playing in that space, it's almost in Australian culture, even Korean culture, it's like a license to just get mangled. And you're like, it's not really like that, And so since when I started, there's another 7, 8, 9 competitors come in. They've got like liquid IVs, like using our Google keywords and stuff, trying to target us. And all that. And it's a lot of attention in the category. But we didn't want to assign and align with us with that scene, because you're essentially giving yourself permission to get wrecked. And whereas Korean wellness and preventive wellness tradition says that you're honoring your body by having this so that you can go and do the next thing that you need to do and like prevent your body from deteriorating. And there's incredible layers of deep culture that they speak to this wellness traditions. And it's like, we want to bring that into our world and say, you can have that good time and have that, have the best time ever. And you can also, go and get that class in the morning and hit the Pilates session or whatever it is.
Got you.
So it's the balance that we're trying to bring that needs to exist. It's not about sacrificing things, if that makes sense.
So you do a bit of both, obviously.
Yeah.
So you are aiming for that market, but you still want it to be a wellness brand.
Exactly right. So our product strategy now, like what we're working on in the background, is not the next hangover cure or like the 2x hangover cure or like something to do with the hangover. It's a lot more, it's game changing, but it's awesome. I can't say too much, but it's exciting.
Tell everyone.
It's fun. All right. You heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. And that journey's been going for how long now?
Me with the company has been about a year and a bit, like 14 months.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing because when we're talking about testing and learning, it's like, I want to see where we start to really move the needle, So is it the food intersection? Because I can see Soul Tonic being a key part of the menu before you start your drinks at a high-end Korean restaurant or even any high-end restaurant. You've got aperitifs and all these like non-alcoholic options. You've got wine, which is doing really well. Why can't you have Soul Tonic on arrival and then you just carry on and have a good night? So that fine dining, that high-end hospitality space is really appealing.
Yeah.
We just did a really cool pitch to Qantas and we've been trying to get on Qantas because how many times do you fly and you're just parched?
Oh,
You're like, I can't breathe. I don't want to keep asking the people to come down and give me more water because I feel like I'm too needy.
Yeah.
And then you can't drink as much, but you still do. And then you're even more dry. And it's like, why is there an in-flight hydration tonic? And why isn't Qantas, which bridges cultures, Australia to Korea, and our founders who's always been literally flying Qantas, has always gone, done that and has always felt the same way. And turns out, I didn't even know this, but you could actually ask Qantas staff for electrolytes. I didn't know that.
What?
Yeah. And they'll give you I
carry my own.
Yeah. So you hear it first. So on next flight, go to, I need electrolytes. You can get it. They'll give you a sachet. So I saw a video of a Qantas employee. She's like, prepare with my long haul flight. And the second thing, she was like, I need my electrolytes. And I was like, sent this to Sophie. I was like, we need to make a video on this and say, this is why we need to be in Qantas because we have everything. We've been pitching them for like months and it's a slow burn, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
But you know what? A little bit of social push. We'll see what happens. And so she did a TikTok video and it was like a live pitch video. And it's scary doing that, 'cause you're putting it out into the world. It's not even real yet. It's all about that building before it's even done sort of scenario.
I love that. Yeah.
And it went viral, like 40,000-50,000 views. You have like loads of every comment's like, this is what we need, no brainer, genius.
Makes sense.
And I said, now post it on LinkedIn, and because that's where the buyers are. And this is where it went viral again. Like her most successful post, bang, bang, bang. And it was the same thing. And she was just recounting it. And then from then you got your inbound saying, wishing you all the best with Qantas, all that stuff. So it just goes to show you, like, there's certain areas that you can take a pun on. Food, obviously being in food background, it just makes sense to me. It's a great pairing.
Yeah.
And it's made with Korean pears, so pardon the pun. That
was terrible.
Had to do it. This is the alcohol talking. And then, F&B, travel, luxury, and just anywhere that gets the product in the hand. That's, beauty stores, chatting to some Korean beauty stores as well, because it's about wellness from within too. So trying to positioning more in that space rather than going after the festivals and all that shit.
Yeah, I love that. I think non-alc wine, don't even know what it is. Never heard of it. But even in high-end restaurants, we're currently doing some bits and pieces for Danny Karam from Magma. He's ex-Black cool. chef and things like that, steak guy, phenomenal food. He's just launched a big steakhouse in Western Sydney, which is awesome. Obviously, we're big advocates of Western Sydney, both of us. Yeah. And I think I would love to pitch that in as hey, what do you imagine the service model is hey guys, welcome to Magma by Danny Karam. We're a steak restaurant. We butcher everything here. The steak comes out however you like cooked. We represent medium rare because we like doing pitches. And it's would you guys like an amuse-bouche of Cial Tonic? Yeah. What's that? Oh, are you guys looking to drink tonight or looking to wake up, whatever it is? Yeah, well, this amuse-bouche allows you to enjoy your meal, enjoy your drink, and wake up in the morning feeling great. Yeah. Because it's down the bottom of a hotel as well. Right. So it's this I'm sorry, I'm pitching you here.
I love it. Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Take my money. Yeah.
I just think have you pitched anything like that yet? Or is that
so we haven't,
because you just pitched, I'm just this is mad.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do something.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Get the shake on what's going on camera as well.
Oh.
Remains to be seen. Yeah. No, we haven't aggressively pursued everyone. Yeah. We've done more of the Korean restaurants and here and there. But nothing to land on the menu just yet. So it's something that I'm really looking forward to actually going to town with.
Because you do have you've got that food influencer background, desertified. Yeah. For all that, all them that know. Yeah. If you know, you know. I just think that's like a really cool, like every single time, like we obviously work with great restaurants, great pubs, great RSLs, great cafes. But every time we go in, we're like, what's your point of difference? Like, what are you doing here that's different? And like, I think any brand like CL Tonic, could be something similar, something like that, should be looking outside of it because, you know, the health industry is like a massive thing now. It's growing like exponentially.
Yeah.
Maybe people are only having 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Again, never heard of it.
Yeah.
But if you are only having 3 glasses instead of 6, and there is a decline in drinking culture, people are drinking less but better booze.
Yeah.
Like, how do we bring that in? You know, in LA, they were doing CBD cocktails.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you felt relaxed whilst you were drinking it, and it had that little bit of a wellness aspect. I don't know how good it is for you at that point. Well, at my point. But yeah, I think like that's really cool, and it's such a diverse brand, and it goes back to what you were saying before. You don't want to pigeonhole it. You want to keep it quite broad and grow organically and kind of, you have that core brand, but then you've always got to test and grow and figure out where those decisions are going to be made and how to grow it. That Qantas thing's brilliant.
Yeah. And we love that because that's the beauty about like being in, you know, agile teams, right? You can react fast. And I think that's speed's so important, right? So, those are some of you were looking at weddings as well. You know, obviously, you know, party favors makes so much sense,
happen.
You know,
I get
instead of
to,
like
like
the cashew box or whatever.
Yeah, you go to the end of those little lollies. Like, man, piss off. Just get me some CL Tonic. Like, I'm keen. This is not an advertisement for CL Tonic either. But I just think like, how many times have you been in you go down a barrel for a wedding? There's not a bloody shop anywhere near you. Like, get involved.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it happen. Yeah. I only take 20% commission on every sale.
That's a lot better than 20.
Let's do a CL Tonic dinner.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't have to be on the pod, but we'll do like a CL Tonic dinner, like maybe in here.
Yeah.
And I'll get like a
supper
mad
party.
chef to come.
Supper party.
Everyone's mic'd.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Maybe episode 10 is just like 10 people at a dinner table.
Yeah. That would be fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like they all come for dinner. We'll do like, I'll get Dan Hong or something to come.
Yeah.
That'd be hectic.
That's a great idea.
All right. Last question. Actually, I'm not going to start it like that. What advice could you give anyone trying to build a brand today?
So much. But I think the biggest one would be really try and understand gravity versus pushing things out. So creating things that pull rather than push. A lot of our time, businesses or brands, a lot of the time, businesses and brands focus on what can I send next? What's the next ad creative? What's the email I can send out? What's the next product I can put out? It's always like trying to jam something down your customer's throat all the time. Instead, the best brands in the world, they have gravity. And so they create what is called a brand universe, essentially, which is micro ecosystems centered around their core product that inherently pull people towards them. They're like, when they make an ad, it's genuinely really interesting and funny and exciting. And it's not that people don't want to see ads anymore. Like, they actually do. They just want to see good ones. Because when you get a really good ad, people are like, in the comment section, they're like, this was such a good ad. The marketing team needs a raise and all that stuff. So it's not that people don't want ads or serve to them. They want to get, you know, really good ones. So, gravity, focus on gravity. What can I do today that will actually draw people closer to my business without me trying so hard, without me trying to push something on them, without me trying to discount my product, you know?
Yeah.
Some examples of that look like, brand artifacts. So essentially, creating like, for instance, in Soul Tonic's case, looking at, a mini, bar fridge that they can have, brand like a Soul Tonic mini bar fridge, fits like a few cans of beer, maybe some wine and some Soul Tonics, and you can have it near the bedside table or like have it in your kitchen. Like it's like a air fryer, but like on your tabletop, you know?
Gotcha.
Or even just the packaging in itself is like, is that something that people want to be seen with? Like, is it something where, you know, if I pull it out, like people are going to be like, oh shit, what's that? You know? So these things inherently pull people, to your brand. The other artifacts, the other elements would look like your story, your origin. So this is what we call like lore, which is going into the grassroots or the origin story of like your brand, like how you experience with the coffee brand, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you figure that out, you're even more immersed into the brand.
Absolutely.
You actually have more connection with the brand.
Yeah.
And then, so there's all these different things that you can create. So essentially try and find ways to pull rather than to push. It would be my biggest advice.
Sounds like my gym session.
Yeah. Pool days on your pool days, not your push days.
Yeah, it's not push. That is like, that's really cool because I think like, you know, like I love Porsche.
Mm.
And it's just like gravitates me towards it.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Everything about it. It's just like the way they market, the people that drive them.
Yeah.
You know, the way they sound, they look, like everything about the way they design is intentional and it's gravitational.
Mm.
So even if you can't afford it, you still love it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when you can afford it, you still love it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you love that people gravitate even towards the car.
Yeah.
Like not just that people want it, but they see it on the street and they take photos or they like, that's what I love about that type of brand. Or like from a beverage perspective, you know, Red Bull, you know, like
they are like a black hole. If we're talking about brand new versus something, they like you sink in. You're watching Red Bull TV. I was at Bankstown Sports Club. They got a dedicated Red Bull TV.
Of course they do.
And just watching it and slamming beers. You're like, how does he do that, man? You're like, it's got nothing. I don't have any inherent desire to drink a Red Bull after that, but that's not the point. The point is that the attention is all on Red Bull and it's always going to stay. You know that Red Bull is synonymous for giving you wings or like giving you the energy that you need. In fact, it powers the world's most outrageous athletes. Like that is a pull mechanism right there. You know what I mean?
Phenomenal. Just as good as Nike, just as good as,
Porsche's the perfect example as well. Like look at what Porsche does. They don't just advertise their car. We're the fastest, you know, or we're the like most comfortable, or we're the most luxurious. They don't say that shit. You already know they are. So then they say, you already know, in their ad, it'll say, you already know you want one. So just come into the store, you know,
and sit in it. Yeah. You don't even need to turn it on. You just sit in it. Yeah.
It's like using their words and the way they do it. They do a lot of food intersections as well. They do a lot of like fine dining, experiences. Yeah. Getting chefs involved, like doing supper tables, all those things. Like they do it because it embodies the values of the person driving the car. They don't talk about the car.
No.
Right?
It's an ecosystem that people want to be involved in.
Yeah.
And that's what gravitates them to the brand.
Yeah.
I just think it's like brilliant. The more I talk, every time I talk to you, I'm just like, I think even deeper into branding and I think how shit I am at it. And I've got to get better. But I think like it's just, so refreshing to have someone that thinks outside the box and really thinks deeply into, you know, it's not just like, I'll do a logo for you. Like, that's fun. Like, no, man, I want someone to look into me and know who I am and what I want to achieve. And also to tell me, which I've heard you say numerous times, like, don't do this. Like, I don't think that's a good idea because you haven't really got a rounded idea of it. But phenomenal having you on the show.
Yeah.
Super glad you came out and I don't know, I feel like we need another hour on this. But pleasure having you, Johnny, and obviously best of luck on everything you do moving forwards and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, man. Yeah, the boy. yeah. Good. Oh, no, I was happy with it.